Okay, I'm going to talk about UFC 192 last night, Saturday, October 4th in Houston, Texas. There were four really good fights that I watched. One was Jessica Eye versus Juliana Pena. That was women bantamweight, 135 pounds. The next one was Sean Jordan versus Ruslan Magomedov. And I apologize, I know I didn't say his name correctly. They were heavyweights. And then in the co-main event, it was Ryan Bader versus Rashad Evans, and they are light heavyweights. And then the main event was Daniel Cormier, the UFC light heavyweight champion, versus Alexander Gustafson, and that was 5 rounds. In the first fight, Jessica Eye versus Juliana Pena, they both came out, looked pretty good. They were both striking pretty good, but over the course of 3 rounds, Juliana Pena just took her down a few more times and pretty much beat her on the ground. But it was a good fight. In the heavyweights, Sean Jordan, he weighed in at 266 pounds. He weighed in at the limit. And Ruslan Magomedov, he weighed in at 245. And the other guy was much bigger, but the other guy was only 6 foot. Sean Jordan, and Ruslan Magomedov was 6'4", and pretty much Sean Jordan, he was taking punches and kicks, and he took a couple kicks where the toenail caught his eye, and it was hard for him to see, and he fought a tough fight, but ultimately he did lose. But that was a good fight. That Ruslan Magomedov, he's a guy to watch out for. Very impressive striker. In the co-main event, Ryan Bader versus Rashad Evans. This was one of the primary reasons I wanted to watch this fight, because I'm a big Rashad Evans fan. And unfortunately, last night was just not Rashad's night. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's had a couple of injuries these last couple years. So last night was his first night back in the octagon in 2 years, and there may have been a little ring rust, but Ryan Bader looked very impressive. He was always getting off first. He was always getting off the punches first. He had a couple of sneaky right hands that he caught Rashad with, and he truthfully just beat Rashad. Primarily, it was a striking match. So anyway, Ryan Bader looked fantastic. I'm sure Rashad will come back. That was his first time back in a while. Now in the main event, Daniel Cormier versus Alexander Gustafson. This was a great fight. 5 rounds. It went the distance, and it started out in the first round, and Cormier was able to take Gustafson down, and he took him down very decisively. He pretty much lifted him up in the air and then flipped him. So he was making a statement, and Gustafson did take Cormier down once as well. That was, I think, like in the 3rd or 4th round. But Cormier's striking was better. He was quicker to the punch, and he was just better on the ground. And so he won a split decision. Truthfully, I thought it would have been 3-2 Cormier. That's what it should have been, in my opinion. 5 rounds, 3 for Cormier, 2 for Gustafson. But a great fight. All around, UFC 192 was a lot of entertainment, a lot of good fights, and now we get to look forward to more UFC and to see how these guys fare in the future. I'm sure that the next thing coming up will be Jon Jones comes back, and then he will be squaring off against Daniel Cormier again. Although I think that for Jon Jones, he probably should have a warm-up fight before he goes right in after Cormier. So I hope he does that. I look forward to seeing that fight, because Cormier is better than he was when he fought Jones the first time. So that will be an interesting fight. Anyway, thank you very much. My name's Brian. This is my first YouTube video, and expect more to come. I'm going to be commenting on all of the UFC and MMA fights, and I will be blogging as well. Love that stuff. Hope you do too, and please feel free to leave me some messages. Thank you.